time flies, got you. Yeah, the champs are here, strike the poses. Shout out to Wisconsin, wake up and smell the roses, yeah. Pasadena, you know where you'll be traveling. I rap it so tight that there's no way that it's unraveling. Yeah, reach for it like the stars, yeah. I'm fucking seeing all this shit behind bars, man. Yeah, is that the shit that I reach for? I'm like B.O.B. cause bitch, I'm talking beast mode. And we get it, man. I fucking play the part, and I can get it to the stars. Say it from the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third season of Madden 25 XFL. I want to say that it's the 11th or 12th season for the XFL, third on Madden 25. This is the first podcast of the Dog Pound for season number 3 on Madden 25. Starting out, I want to welcome two new owners, Lucas Nestor of the Kansas City Chiefs and Justin Hutton of the San Francisco 49ers. Two very good players. I've got the pleasure of knowing both of them, Lucas Nestor more than Justin Hutton. Me and him started gaming together back, I guess, 10 years ago on PS2 when they first started the online Madden, online college football. And basically we've taught each other everything we've known up till recently, I guess. We sort of, done our own thing on games or whatever. But we always play together as far as Black Ops and stuff like that. Lucas is a very good player. He matches up with me very well. I hate that he's in the AFC. It makes my road a whole lot harder. But it's good for the league. Lucas can beat anybody on any given day. He a tough defensive player. He's defensive minded. You can see by his games already, giving up 14 points only. I don't think his offense is there yet, but he just bought the game Tuesday. And as we know, Madden 25 is a different world than the other football games, so he's just jumping into All-Pro, not starting out at Pro, jumping into All-Pro, and giving it everything he's got, and he's 2-0 and playing defense very well. Justin Hutton just bought the game as well. I played last year's Madden with him. We'd done a lot of team play. We was on the same shift. We'd get off work and get together, and we'd play team play when we got home. Very good player. He's got a lot to learn. He may drop a couple games to the computer this year. That's my prediction. But I think he will be in the playoffs. A very knowledgeable player, very good on offense. Just got his defense, get his defense going. So two good additions to the XFL. So welcome. The first big topic I want to hit on is we are going to All-Pro this year. We're in week 2. You can already see games are a whole lot closer. Stats are not as good. You don't see the 300 to 400 yards rushing games and 60 to 70 point games as much. You saw them every week. On Pro, I'm not going to say you're not going to see 60 points games because there's already been one, but you're not going to see them as much. You saw them every week on Pro. You're not going to see them every week on All-Pro. And you can already tell turnovers are up big time for user versus computer. It seems to be doing the job, and I'm very happy with that. But just to let everyone know, I'm not the commissioner, but I will be bringing up stuff in podcasts that we can debate about. And we do need to be watching game resets this year. It's on All-Pro. People are going to drop some games on the computer. That's my prediction. It's already happened. Miami Dolphins has dropped 2 already to the computer. Detroit's dropped 1. We need to be watching game resets closely. Miami had one in week 2. I don't know what the deal was. It could be just, a lockup or whatever, but he lost, in the second try too, so I don't see the big deal in that, but he did have a reset, no big deal. He lost the second one, so it really don't matter. But we do need to come up with some kind of punishment. If you do have a lockup, you do need to have a photo immediately posted to the page on the lockup showing the disconnect. That's my suggestion. It needs to be posted on the XFL page, clarifying it and having proof that it is disconnection. And we need to think of some kind of punishment if it's not posted. Do we do a one-game autopilot ban? I think that's fair enough. Because we got to watch that because, people just turn the game off. They're losing. So we need to watch these resets and debate on a punishment that fits it. I think a one-game autopilot, win or lose, that's the punishment for the reset. But, chime in on this thread, on the Dog Pound thread. Let me know what you think. Season kicked off yesterday, week 1. Like I said, it seems to be harder. I'm going to come up with some season predictions. These are my predictions, my opinion, nobody else's. It's not a joint show. It's the Dog Pound show. So it's what I think. I looked at rosters, looked at the type of player and their past and, how they've been doing and, what they're known for. So here goes my predictions. NFL MVP, I got tagged as David Wilson. He's putting up great numbers, but they are padded stats. David Wilson's getting 27, 28 carries a game, and he'll win that MVP on that. David Wilson isn't going to do that against a user that plays good defense. Obviously, in the Super Bowl, he only had 150. 150's good, but I think he had 75 of that, 80 in the first half, something like that. And it still, put the Redskins in third and long situations, and that's what you want to do with Marcus Taylor is put him in passing situations, and he struggles. But I still think David Wilson will get that. He plays a lot of users this year. So, it's going to be a him or Price McCaskill. Price McCaskill started off slow in week 1, had 2 turnovers come out in the first half, but then lit it up in the second half of the first game, and then the second game totally lit it up the entire game and looked like the Price McCaskill of last year. So it's going to be a tight race, but I think David Wilson will pull that out in the end because running back gets quarterback. If I turn the ball over a couple times with Price McCaskill, it's going to hurt his quarterback rating and hurt his MVP run. But if Marcus Taylor drops some game to some user, it's going to hurt David Wilson's run too. So we'll have to see there. AFC buys, I got going to Kansas City and Cleveland. I see both of those teams winning their division. Not easily, but I see them winning their division, coming out with first-round buys in the playoffs. NFC buys, I got going to Washington and Seattle. Seattle's got a tough defense, a great quarterback. Seems to be doing the job with Toby Gerhardt over there, which is insane. I'll hit on that later. And Washington, I see them winning the NFC East, of course, and eking out by over Carolina. Moving on to the AFC Championship. Once again, I have Cleveland versus Kansas City. And that game can go 50-50. I'm not kidding you. I can't praise Lucas Nestor enough and his game and ability. I don't think it's there yet as far as what it can be. But by the time he's got to play a user, I think it's going to be there. It wouldn't hurt him to make a deal with somebody to get a quarterback. I think his starting quarterback is Ryan Mallett, which he can do better than that. I look for him to make a deal with somebody to get him a good starting quarterback. But right now, as of today, I see Cleveland eking that out. But, Kansas City's just going to get better, so you never know with that. It's still 50-50. Luke is that type of player, and I can't praise him enough that he just made the AFC tight race. NFC Championship, I got Carolina versus Seattle. I see Carolina eking this one out against Washington to get to that NFC Championship. I see them doing it this time. I see them playing defense, being able to stop the run, not having early turnovers to put themselves in a position to lose the game. I think that hurt them last season. 2 early turnovers in their first possessions. They was down 14-0 before you knew it. I got Seattle winning that, though, against Carolina with Seattle and Cleveland in the Super Bowl. And I see Cleveland Cleveland winning the Super Bowl. It might be biased. It is the dog pound, but until somebody knocks me off that, I won it last year when my back was against the wall, and I got an even stronger team this year. Until somebody knocks me off of it, that's going to be my prediction, and I'll give credit where credit is due, and when that happens. But until then, I don't. Right now, I don't see anybody knocking Cleveland out of the Super Bowl game. But things can change. You got 17 weeks to do it, so let's see what happens. That's just a prediction. The games still have to be played. Like I said, the season kicked off yesterday. I'm not going to go not going to go over every game that's been played. I'm just going to go over some things that's caught my eye in the last 2 weeks. Some games here and there. The first game is Washington knocked off Green Bay 36-29. David Wilson had 27 attempts in that game. That's huge. That's a lot of carries. The thing I've been hitting on Marcus about is it's one-dimensional. If you force him to pass, it's bad news for him. And RG3 in that game had 9 attempts, just 9 attempts passing, and 2 of those went for picks. So you see right there the way you got to do to beat Marcus. You got to force him to pass. You got to stop that run. So if anybody that plays Marcus, that's what you might want to be keying on. And use these next season games to practice stop and run, finding the defense to eat it up, but also find a defense that's not too that doesn't give up a lot in the pass game either. You don't want to go all out and stop and run because I'm not saying Marcus can't throw it over your head, but if you find that defense that is not so conservative, that'll stop the run, but it'll also not give up too many passing yards if he comes out and does a play action or whatever on you. Another one is Seattle knocked off Chicago in a close game. I think that was 35-28. Surprising in that game, I think he dealt Marshawn Lynch earlier in the preseason to get Toby Gerhart. Toby Gerhart had 123 rushing yards in that game. He seems to be doing the job over there in Seattle, which is insane. Seattle's getting it done with a less than stellar running back in Toby Gerhart. I'd like to see what Seattle ends up doing in that NFC. It's going to be a damn dogfight in the NFC with so many users, and that's evenly on playing level. You really can't predict really who's going to come out of the NFC. All you can do is just guess, and you're probably going to be wrong. But anyway, moving on. Kansas City won both of their games. Their inaugural first season game, and they won their second one too. Week 1 they had tons of offense. Week 2 not so much. You don't know what Kansas City is yet. All you know is they're going to play defense. Be prepared for that. He's going to have a damn defense on the field, and you ain't going to score too many points. But, is Kansas City going to get their offense where it needs to be before their first user game? That's still yet to be determined. But we'll have to see. I don't know when their first user game is. It might be against Cleveland. Who knows? That's going to be a damn showdown. I think that's in week 9. Moving on to Cincinnati has benched Dalton for the 36-year-old Pop Warren. Is this a good fit in Cincy? I don't know. I don't know much about Pop Warren. I do know he's old as shit. But he just had a close game with the Texas team. I think it might be the Houston Monarchs. But Pop Warren threw 2 picks in that. Is that a good fit in Cincy? Is he better than Dalton? That's to be determined. I think it's a gamble. Myself, I think you need to go to your go-to quarterback in Dalton instead of a 5th, 6th round Pop Warren pick that's 36 years old. And he's not getting A.J. Green the ball a lot. I saw in that game, I think A.J. Green had 1 catch for 18 yards, and C.J. Spiller's hurt for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So can Cincy survive without C.J. Spiller and starting a 36-year-old quarterback? We shall see. Moving on, week 2, Cleveland dumped 64 points on the New York Giants, but their defense gave up a lot. They had a stellar defense in Week 1. Was still stellar in Week 2 against the rush, but damn if the Giants didn't pass all over them. Wasn't nothing I can do until I figured it out late. Running a zone against New York really caused trouble, and I shut them down in the fourth quarter. But I could not match up with them man-on-man. They got some stellar receivers. I think they got Victor Cruz and Deshaun Jackson and Justin Blackman. That's some stellar-ass receivers. And I could not match up man-on-man with them. They were killing me. And they got this tight end. And if anybody's got any picks to trade, you will be crazy if you don't trade for this guy. He's a Giants tight end. I think he's a rookie or a second-year player. His name is Golden. If you need a tight end, you need to try to trade for that guy because that guy is ridiculous. He is by far the best rookie that I've saw drafted in the 3 years of Madden 25. This guy is ridiculous. I think he had 11 catches against me. The guy is a matchup problem. You can't match a linebacker on him. You can't match a DB on him because he'll get physical with the DB and he'll outrun a linebacker. So if anybody's got any draft picks and you don't trade for him, you are crazy. I don't have anything to trade, or I'd go for him. And plus, I just re-signed my tight end to a 6-year deal, so it would be very lucrative to sign him, which I regret signing Cameron now after seeing this guy. That's all I got right now. Like I said, I'm not going to take everybody's time up and hit on every damn game played. Just a couple that caught my eye. These will be, next coming up will be the rankings that I got so far. The top 8, I think. I think there's 8 teams that's actually playing, which is the most we've had in a while. Number 1, I got Cleveland. Like I said, it's my spot until somebody takes it from me. And I think that's just the respect I want to give myself and the respect I think I deserve. Everybody doubted me last year being Cleveland. I came in and won the Super Bowl with the worst team in the league. And now they're a better team than last year. But we also got a better league than last year. Number 2, Kansas City. Like I said, can't praise the guy enough. I've played with him. I know what he can do, what he's capable of, and I think he's going to do it. I think he'll get it on track, and by week 6, 7, he's going to be a tough out. Number 3, Seattle. He had me beat last year in the AFC Championship. Moved to the NFC. I think he's going to take that conference by storm. I expect him to be in the Super Bowl. I don't expect anything less. I got a tie at number 4 with Washington and Carolina. Yeah, Washington beat Carolina in the playoffs last year. But I think Carolina's going to work on stopping the run. And I think they will knock off Washington this year. But nevertheless, I see them equally strength. I got them tied at 4. Number 5, I got Cincy. Had a great rookie season last year. Went downhill in the playoffs. I don't know. I think they've been figured out. We'll have to see. He's liable to beat me twice in the regular season this time. Who knows? But it was a pretty bad showing in the playoffs last year. But I think he will win some user games this year against some people, and he will be in the playoffs. I just think he'll be a wild card team, and he'll win that game, and then I think he'll drop one in the divisional playoffs. We'll see. Detroit's at number 6. Lost to the computer. I think it's going to be struggling this year in his rookie year with a less than average team, but he could surprise some people. He did play Marcus Taylor close in a preseason game, I do believe, but we'll see what happens in the regular season. I think he's got a week 2 matchup coming up with David at Seattle, so that'll be a good measuring stick just to where Detroit stands right now. Number 7, I got San Fran. Hasn't played a user. Really have no way of judging how good he is at Madden 25. So I got him down here at number 7 until he proves what he's worth. At number 8, I got Miami. That's lost back-to-back games. Computers just struggling. Tannehill down there throwing all kinds of picks. I think he threw 3 in week 2. I don't know how many he threw in week 1. But old Bobby Patton's down there struggling. Hopefully he'll get it together because we need him in the AFC to be a force to be reckoned with. Anyway, that's the rankings for this week. I'll be back next Thursday. We liable to be in week 4 or 5 by then. Who knows the way this league moves? We liable to be in the playoffs by next week. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Dog Pound. I will see y'all later.